Hello.
Where are you from?
Hello?
Hi.
What's going on? Hey, who is this?
I'm Ashley.
Yeah. What is this called?
Call in the night.
Call in the night.
Aren't you a subscriber?
Huh? What'd you say?
Aren't you a subscriber?
Man, on the cool, this number just called me, and my partner just had my phone, so maybe that's who y'all was trying to reach.
No, don't you know what this is? A Call in the Night is an experimental show where they randomly select you. Like, they call you in 2 a.m. Eastern Time, and they connect you to someone randomly to discuss your dreams. And if the people that are in charge of this find it interesting, then they record everything that you're saying right now, and they put it on their SoundCloud so everyone else can hear. Yeah.
This is some kinky ass shit, man. So you can just talk about whatever type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're recording you right now, so.
No shit. This is hilarious. Oh, man, this is funny. Okay. Well, I ain't really, say my type of deal. You know, I was just staying on the phone to see who the fuck you been talking to all night. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell
Yeah.
the girl, like, and then I was expecting to hear a girl voice, and I get like an intro to some other shit, and they tell me to stay on the phone for 30 seconds.
That's amazing.
Huh?
That's amazing. Yeah, but they're supposed to call you every week.
They're going to call me every week?
Yes, every week, just on a random day at 2 a.m.
So my number is now programmed into the thing, so y'all going to call me every week.
Yes.
Call in the night. Where's this at? Anyway.
Callinthenight.com.
Hi. So what you just heard was a real conversation between two complete strangers that happened at 3 a.m. Eastern Time a couple of months ago. And the call was completely anonymous. It was a part of this project that I started called Call in the Night. Call in the Night started as a art studio project while I was at Carnegie Mellon. I was really interested in dreams at the time, and I wanted to come up with a way to record my own dreams. And so since I have a computer science leaning, I came up with this very elaborate system to do so. And that was Call in the Night. You can sign up for it now at callinthenight.com if you have a number in the US or Canada, and it's soon expanding to Europe. The way that it works is that everyone who's signed up gets called simultaneously in the middle of the night at a random time after 2 a.m. Once you answer, if you answer, you hear a short prompt that's been selected by me, and then you get connected with one other person who is also called at the same time to talk about whatever for as long as you want. And since the launch, we've called over 30,000 people, or made over 30,000 calls and recorded hundreds of hours of dream conversations. All of those calls are indexed, machine transcribed, and searchable. And in the upcoming podcast that I'm working on, you'll be able to, I'll choose some search term into that database, and then use the results of that search term to describe something about the human experience during the middle of the night. So for instance, I might type in the word falling and get something like the clip you're going to hear.
I don't want to fall in the water. I don't want to fall in the water. And I'm really freaking out about falling in the water. And Eric is just like, you're not going to fall in the water. And I said, fuck this. And I jumped out of the elevator.
I'm sorry to hear about that. I had a stressful day earlier today, although I have successfully fallen asleep.
The door is on the left, the woman is on the right, and she's backing away up the staircase, falling over herself.
And
and then, like, the tree, like, that it was under started catching on fire, and the leaves were dying, and everything was falling down. And then we were like, fuck. So we started running for it.
The raindrops falling outside my window, cold and big. And
I feel like my family is falling apart in a way.
I've recently fallen in love after 26 years of never really knowing what it was.
I mean, I have a lot of dreams about my teeth falling out. That's pretty normal.
Okay, I think I'm falling asleep. But it was great talking to you.
So you get this sort of free associative, different meanings of words mixed together, all based on this computer search term into a gigantic database of people's thoughts during the middle of the night. And so it's been fun to conduct these calls, but I think for me the most interesting part has been staying up in the middle of the night and listening to calls as they come in. Because the nighttime can be, for most people, a very lonely time. If you're the only one awake, it can feel like you're the only person in the world. And it's somehow really reassuring to know that there are other people all over the United States and Canada at this point, but all over the world, who are thinking similar things to what you're thinking, and kind of getting a snapshot of what all those people are thinking at a given time. So very quickly I realized that the project wasn't really about dreams. It was actually pretty bad at capturing my dreams. I would often just forget them the moment I got the call, but something much more interesting started happening. Listening to these conversations, there was always or often a point at which this anonymous conversation would go from a very awkward conversation with a lot of giggling and that sort of thing, and a break would occur, and there would be this very raw emotion that flowed through, and people would open up to each other about what they're worrying about or their anxieties and things like that. And so I started encountering calls like the next one you'll hear, which really sort of changed my opinion of the project.
Yeah, I've been taking a lot of walks lately and biking, actually. I'm trying to, clean up my life a little bit. I had fallen into a really rough patch with drugs and everything when I was younger. I was in the military for 4 years, and when I got out, I was 21 years old and had $200,000 cash and just no guidance at all. And fell and pretty much threw my life away.
Yeah, I feel ya.
It's really wild how, I don't tell anyone that.
It's okay. I mean, it sounds like you've really turned it around. Sounds like you've come really, really far. And you have a ton of experiences to make you, you know.
I've worked really hard.
I can't say that I've never loved him. I loved who he was, but I hate who he's become, you know?
Because he's not the daddy you remember.
No, he's not. And I feel so terrible when my brother talks about him, because it's like I can hear it in his voice all the time. Because that's the dad he's always known, you know? I don't think anyone else realized he was an alcoholic.
But a lot of functioning alcoholics have the ability to hide their addiction.
Yeah. He's got stage 3 cirrhosis right now, so.
Okay.
And he's made it kind of clear he doesn't really give a crap about much but the booze. He doesn't go to a hospital. He yells at us if we tell him to, that sort of thing.
Well,
really.
I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to be like, hey, you're lucky. But you know how I said my mom's dead? My mom committed suicide when I was 16 from a drug overdose.
Yeah.
And my mom died in my arms. You have to love people for their mistakes and for their flaws, because those flaws are actually what makes them even more perfect human beings.
So with calls like that, interspersed with everything else, it really became a different sort of project, and a much more ambiguous one, one that I'm not sure how I feel about, but I know that I feel a lot. And so I started sort of picking apart why these sorts of conversations happen, and what does it mean? And I don't know that I have a good question or a good answer to that question, but I think it does point to something, maybe a need that we have. There's a conversation going on right now about the internet and Facebook, and when we go on a site like Facebook or use the internet, are we giving up more than we're getting? Are we somehow taking something that's virtual in place of what's real? And there's something about that argument that's pretty satisfying to me. I think it's the irony of us being ever more connected, but also more lonely. And but there's another part of me that feels that there's something wrong with that argument, and I'm not so sure about it, because I think what it's doing is it's missing out on an opportunity, because it's putting a cause. It's mistaking a symptom with a cause. I think that maybe Facebook isn't what's making us lonely. It's the fact that we're lonely that Facebook exists, and maybe we need to use the power of technology to reach out and touch that part of our psyche. So, in conclusion, I think the internet gives us an amazing opportunity. Technology has always been able to change geography, go beyond the boundaries of physical space to connect people and ideas. And I think that it might be wise for us to stop thinking about it as a dichotomy between real and virtual, and think about technology as a tool and how it might be able to help us in the future if we let it. Thank you.